Assalamualaikum. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Absolutely perfect. Thank you so much for having
Thank
us
you
over.
so much for making time. Please join me.
Sure.
I think you both know each other.
Yeah, we do know each other.
I can't tell. देखने में नहीं पता चल रहा कि Gen Z कौन है और कौन है.
शुक्र है.
Maybe it's the millennial. Let's go. I'll get you water.
Sandwich was really nice.
So yesterday I did a whole walk through my newsroom and I asked my colleagues because we're going to talk about differences today. So yesterday I asked them what the similarities they think between Gen Z and millennials are. It was so funny. I have a video here. Do you guys want to see?
They both hate boomers.
Both are equally worried about Gen Alpha.
Dad jokes. Everyone loves dad jokes.
Both are
Money.
They both agree that Nusrat is a legend. Without sadly overthinking.
Both have to deal with each other, unfortunately.
Both can't seem to buy houses. There's no similarity. I hate millennials.
Believe on one-to-one interaction in socialization, but Gen Z depends on social media.
The funny element is both are having hair transplant these days.
Both keep planning to change their life from Monday.
I think both support work-life balance.
Welcome back to another episode of Chatroom with Shizza. I'm really excited about today's episode for multiple reasons. First being because the two guests, yes, today I have two guests, and both of them happen to be great speakers, super opinionated, and very well informed. Let me just tell you what we are going to talk about today. Hear me out. Two generations, so close in time, but values-wise and how they operate in life, so absolutely different. I'm talking about millennials versus Gen Z. If you don't know, let me just tell you, millennials happen to be people born between 1981 to 1996, and then 1997 onward up until 2012 is Gen Z. Why is it important to have this discussion? Because for some reason, these two generations appear to be so polar opposites, and there's like a lot of discourse and studies and like news going on about what will Gen Z do in the workspace, or how are millennials dealing with Gen Z? I thought, let's bring them both to Chatroom with Shizza and break this dialogue. So, on my left-hand side, I have been joined by one of my favorite sports broadcast journalists, morning show anchor also, Shahzad Ihsan Khan. Hi, Shahzad. Thank you so much for joining me.
Assalamualaikum, Shizza. Thank you so much for having me in your chat room. I think it's a great opportunity for me to speak about millennials. And speaking about millennials, certainly, thank you so much for giving away my age. But yeah, I think I've got more youth in me.
Of course, no doubt in that. I was actually not going to reveal who the millennial is, but anyway, you did. Yeah. So, and on my right-hand side, I have been joined by someone who happens to be a content creator. Izaz Hashmi is with us. Hi, Izaz. Welcome to the chat room with Shizza.
Hi, Shizza. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, I am technically borderline Gen Z because I was born in 1998, but I have most of my traits are Gen Z. So I think I do qualify as Gen Z more than I do for millennial.
I think so too.
Sitting away looks like a face-off.
It does.
You guys,
it really
I have
does.
to warn you, it is going to be a face-off. Yeah. To begin with, so Gen Z has been called the most pragmatic generation ever. Like they want to know what they're doing and they want to be sure about what they're doing. Is it going to value them somehow? Unlike millennials, who were told to like grow up, get their degrees, don't break the rules, and just, eventually wait for their turn to be served. Gen Z stood up and snatched their turn. They didn't wait for their turn. Izaz, being Gen Z, do you agree with any of this, like being called the pragmatic generation?
I somewhat agree with that. I do agree with the fact that Gen Z, if they want something, they try to get it. Obviously, like you said, breaking the rules, it's not like you break the official rules or something. It's just like, doing something out of the box. For example, our generation is more open to trying new experiences. Millennials had to face a lot of problems from the generation above them. For example, picking up your career, choosing your degree. These are the things that Gen Z does it either way anyway. If they want to do something, they do it. And which is a good thing. I feel like the West has already had this sort of mindset in their previous generations. Mm-hmm. And we are I guess, a generation late to that mindset. But it works out pretty well so far. I haven't seen many Gen Zs doing bad in life, to be very honest. Obviously, I mean, there are people doing bad in every generation, not just Gen
Yeah,
Z.
in every generation, there's
Yeah.
always an example.
But overall, I feel like it's a very great mindset to have, and I am proud to own it up, actually.
Shazad, I
Yeah.
want your opinion on it, if you agree or not. And if you do agree, then what do you think can be the contributing factors for this mindset?
All right. So what I think is that imagine that when we were growing up, we weren't really given the liberty to kind of decide for ourselves. And the reason is that if we look at our household or our family members, one of our younger brothers and sister is a Gen Z, right? And just because, they got to be the youngest one does really give them quite a lot of advantage. And speaking of that, I think we would have been pragmatic only because imagine that if you have to go outside, ask your mom or ask your dad, Abu, can I go outside? No, Putta, you cannot go outside. Why? Bas keh deta hai to keh deta hai. And this actually needs to go out like this because I've said it, so I've said it. We always wanted to know the reasons, but the problem was that the morals were very high, the ethos were very high. And, I think most of the time the mothers would only work on morals and ethos rather than figuring it out that they need to answer the questions that the kid is asking. And we let it away because we were too indebted by the favors that our parents have actually posed onto ourselves. So I think we would have been pragmatic ourselves. And given, I think if I am giving my example, so I think this is just something that everybody needs to hear, first of all, that I'm not representing every millennial who's out there because you might differ.
Yeah, you can't generalize, of
you
course.
might have a very different opinion as well. I'm talking about myself and how my life has been. So I think speaking about that, what I would like to say over here is that I think given the opportunity, we would have been pragmatic too. And eventually, when we got the opportunity, that's exactly what we did. We took our decisions and we made sure that that we take life into our own control. But we do go back every now and then to our parents and probably consult, whether am I doing it fine or not. So I think it's a draw on this one.
And to add to what Shazad Bhai said, that there's a difference in parenting as well.
Yeah.
So Gen Z has been given the liberty to make their own decisions. So
But the parents are the same.
like he said that it takes experience to do anything, right? Same goes for parenting. So the firstborn is always, they always say that we didn't have it. Yeah, we didn't have it easy. And the youngest one is always like the one who gets it most easiest,
True.
So obviously parenting is also something that you learn with time.
The favors, my younger brother got, I might not have gotten. But if I'm going to ask my younger brother, he'll be like, no, bhai was so superb, and everybody would listen to him.
Exactly.
So there will always be that dialogue.
I think I have to mention that both these gentlemen are like so well spoken that sometimes I really have to cut them out. Let it be my turn, please.
Sorry.
But,
Sorry for that.
You can have it. You can have it, please.
But he's pragmatic now. We cannot help.
Pragmatic ka kya kare? But all right. I want to understand the struggles you personally think your generation had. Let's start with, I want to say millennials here.
All right. If you want to start with us, the struggle was real. Now, imagine that if you are to talk about the influence of technology these days, I mean, he might not even want to refer to as an influencer, but rather content creator. Gives them a very different identity.
We didn't even know what that was.
Yeah, imagine. So we didn't even know. We weren't even allowed to use telephone back in the days, that hot wire telephone that everybody had. So imagine that from there we started to learn about all of that technology. And even now, I think off the record, when we were sitting together and chatting, I was asking him how to archive my videos on Instagram.
That actually happened.
That's an everyday struggle.
Right.
And then, the kind of, I think we were very well knitted into those family values and to uphold them and to be the good son and to have a very good picture of the family and how it always needs to be, even if, we do know that there's a plethora of wreckage right underneath that carpet, and we would brush it under the carpet just because of the fact that there was this some guest coming and we have to look like a very perfect family, which we might not have been. And the very ideology of our parents needs to be adopted by us just because of the fact that we didn't have any other options, right? But it was different for you. So go ahead.
I feel like the biggest struggle that Gen Z, in my opinion, obviously, because I can't generalize it to everybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like since it's a digital age now, and we basically grew up. I mean, I personally grew up. Growing up, I saw the advance in technology. So my dad used to have that buttons phone.
Yeah, the Nokia.
The Nokia that didn't break at all. And then fast forward to fast forward to 2026. Now we have iPhone 17, right? So we saw this boom in technology, and we had to adapt to it very quickly.
Yeah.
Especially in Pakistan, because like we used to have one PC in our house that everybody used to get turns on. I'm going to use Facebook now. I'm going to use this internet and everything.
Yeah.
So we had to adapt to it really quickly. And now the competition is very tough. So for example, back in the day, if you wanted to be famous, let's say, then there was a set path for you. You know, you want to get on TV, you want to do this, you want to do journalism, whatever. Now everybody can pick up a phone and everybody is a journalist.
True.
So as a content creator, this is something that I feel that it does not matter anymore how qualified you are for a certain task.
This is where I'll disagree now, and I'm disagreeing because imagine that a few countries have done it now, and if you are to speak about a few countries, we have seen that how laws have been passed that people cannot actually pick up their phones and make videos wherever they would want to go. Because imagine a person who actually has no knowledge of the subject. What do you think he's going to teach people? And if he, God forbid, has a bit of influence over people on social media, and there are multiple examples over here in Pakistan as well. And imagine what the people will be doing, or what we will be kind of, getting into their very subliminal thought processes. And those countries on purpose have actually passed these bills that people really need to come in, look for a permit that they can go out, vlog, or probably be a journalist, and only then they can do that. And my take on that, I think it's a great job. Not everybody should be a journalist.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are certain morals, there's a certain ethics that you really need to make sure that you fulfill them. You're not false language cannot go out there. Foul behavior cannot.
But that's just about the content creation bit, right? There's so many other things. Like there's AI now. Like you can literally just do everything with AI.
Yeah.
So the level of competition.
Do everything with AI.
Yeah. The level of the competition is what I'm talking about. Yeah. So like if for example me, I had to learn so many new skills just so I could do what I am doing right now.
I think that was our struggle. How come it's your struggle too?
I mean, it is our struggle as well, right?
Do we live in the same world? But gentlemen, I have to break you over here. I think, yes, in terms of struggles, completely different, true. Reminds me of a conversation with Talat Saab, a senior journalist. Every time I think about this, it's so funny to me because he absolutely hates citizen journalism. He goes like, why is everyone allowed to just pick up their phone and be a journalist? So I think that then the conversation of right to expression also comes in, right? I think everyone should be allowed, but then you have to be smart enough and media literate to tell what the real information is. Not going to go there. It's going to be a really long discussion. Millennials happen to be one of the most educated generations ever. I mean, compared to anyone before them and the ones after them also. But now there's a narrative that education might actually be going obsolete. I don't see Gen Z actually chasing degrees or something. I mean, they're making their livelihood and their life for themselves without degrees. Azaz, being a Gen Z, do you think education is going obsolete? No one needs degrees anymore?
Three universities.
I completely fall under this umbrella.
Okay.
I was just telling Siddharth Bhai before, I have been to 3 different universities, tried out 4 different degrees in a span of 5 to 6 years.
What do you mean tried out?
I mean, I tried to study business. Then it didn't work out. I didn't like the degree, and also I did not really do well in school. I have never been a bright student by definition, I've never been a top grade student. So that didn't work out. And then I even went to NUST. I would like to say to everybody watching that I dropped out from NUST. So even getting into NUST requires a lot of brain. So it's not like, So my argument while dropping out of NUST was that what I am learning in this degree, I've already learned from YouTube. I was doing mass communication, and the stuff that they were teaching me in the degree, I had already learned that on YouTube because I wanted to be a content creator, right? So my argument was that I'm just wasting my time here, wasting money. Rather than this, I should maybe get into the field. And trust me, right after I left uni, I became an influencer.
Yeah, and
my content started going viral, and then I started making money off of it.
Right.
So in my opinion, and I feel like most of the Gen Zs would agree with this, that in our minds, skill matters more than just a degree. Because degree eventually is just a piece of paper, right? Everybody, most, like you said, most millennials. Most millennials have a degree, right? But do all of them have the same skills that a lot of Gen Z kids have? Do they have the same sort of vibes, or as they call it,
Yeah.
So I feel like it's more about the vibes and skills now than it is about having a degree that is going to get you a job.
Shazad, can you even imagine like growing up, going to Ehsan Saab and being like, Baba, I don't want to study anymore. I don't like this one. I don't like. Can you even imagine?
See, I think that the answer is in your question, because imagine that even when we were going to school, education was obsolete even back then.
Okay.
Even now today, what I think is that education, for me, I have been a terrible student myself, but yes, I did my masters and I had to because the pressure was so immense. कि नहीं पुत्र पढ़ना तो है ही है, फिर और क्या करोगे, नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी, और तुम पता नहीं, there were so many different examples that they would always give. And imagine that, so I would fail probably in the first, semester. No, sorry, not the semester. What do we call it here? First term, second term, and then pass the final term. And thankfully that I never had to repeat in a year. But as soon as I got into university, my first semester, I got a scholarship. I got 3.67 GPA and I graduated at somewhat around 3.4 C GPA, and likewise for masters. And then what I understood was that the way that they were educating in our schools were already obsolete. And when I got to the applied sciences of it, and when we got to know, because imagine my teacher once told me, and majority of the class would fail in his subject. So it's Sir Tariq, and he was a foreign graduate, and he said that if you can convince me with your words, I will give you marks. And that's all I had to do. So, and even till date, that's what I do. So I convince people with my words, and I tell them after a lot of research. So education was then obsolete. Education is even now obsolete. I think that the major skill that you really need to adopt is you need to know how to learn, write, comprehend, communicate, present. These are the basic skills that you need to learn. The rest, the world will teach you eventually, and you will have to, if you want to do something.
And I feel like if you spend enough time in something, in any field, like if I...
the 10,000 hour theory.
Exactly. So like if I just grab tools and start fixing my car, eventually I will figure it out,
Yeah.
Eventually
I figured it out now anyway.
Exactly.
So, इस चीज़ की आवाज़ आ रही है, इस चीज़ की है,
exactly. See, that's experience.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to study automotive engineering for that.
True. And one more point. Now imagine that I was at this ceremony in a private school over here in Islamabad, and then the owner or the principal or that entrepreneur actually said, "Oh, we're going to move everybody to international baccalaureate system." And I was like, the world's still studying in Oxford and Cambridge, and a school over here in Pakistan is talking about IB, not even IV. So I'm saying international baccalaureate system. And as soon as I got the news, the first thing that I was like, okay, now the fees are going to actually double. Just because of the fact that people think that it's such a fancy term and our children are going to learn something new. That's not what it is. Hey, everybody, I mean, I do not want to be like Azad Chaiwala and say that you do not have to study. You need to study. Because I think above all, what it gives you is it gives you a personality, it gives you a character, and it's your character which will always make you
and
taller
it
in
teaches
life.
you a lot of things. When you go to uni, you meet so many different people from so many different backgrounds, financial backgrounds, ethical backgrounds, So it teaches you so many things. It teaches you how to interact with people, basically.
And people end up marrying as well.
Yeah.
Out of the universities.
Right.
So that's good. But for doctors and engineers and NASA specialists and all of those people, specialized studies is important. What we're talking about is something where yaar apna waqt kyun zaya kar rahe ho? Learn the skill and make sure that you start working doing it. And this is something that I love about Gen Z. A 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 20-year-old is actually making more money than people over here or probably elsewhere as well. So I think that's something that people really need to learn from them, because that they've picked up on a skill, they're working so much on it, and probably they're making more money than their fathers.
Thank you for the segue. Actually, I was going to get into that later, but let's do it now. Money. Millennials grew up knowing that since we were talking about degrees, you have to earn a certain level of education, go into the job market, work for someone, and keep working until you retire to make money. The concept of money has also kind of shifted with Gen Z. For them, it's not about survival anymore. For them, it's not about paying their dues. It's kind of a calmer feeling on them. Maybe it's due to responsibilities or a different world. I don't know. That's what I want to talk about. So yeah, money. What does it mean to you, and what does it mean to you? Earning money. What do you make of it? Like, is it an accolade? Oh wow, this is how rich I am. And then the main question. So when you have the money, millennials, because they come from Gen X, we knew that we have to save or invest, while Gen Z would actually take a trip somewhere for their mental well-being and everything is one example, which is absolutely, I'm all for it, So money, Shazad, let's begin.
No,
with
first of all, you tell us, what do you do with your money?
I don't have any money. But I'll be honest, if I'm ever able to save, then I usually go for jewelry.
Really?
And sure, I'll travel.
Just took a trip. You didn't take
And I take
jewelry.
trips.
Spiritual
You just took a
trip.
trip.
I took
Yeah.
a spiritual trip.
Yeah,
but yes,
that's it.
money.
Okay, speaking about money, so I think people really need to kind of understand it. So, do not mix it with success. That's not what money is.
That's so important.
What people really need to understand is that for me as a millennial, or what I've been raised in, or the values that I've got, money is for you to be able to be happy with your father, mother, sister, chachu, mamu, or for all these relationships that you have and have a successful and very healthy life. I think that's success for me. When we talk about money, see, everybody's got the same brain, everybody's got two hands, everybody's got these 2 feet and legs, and everybody should be able to earn as much money as Elon Musk made, or Jeff Bezos made, or anybody else made. And there shouldn't be anything stopping us from making that sick amount of money. Why should we stop? I think that, because we were born the same way that everybody else has, we have the same right to do that. All we need to do is, and people who are out there, listen to me carefully, make as much money as you can, and it's not about that, you're so lalchi and whatnot. Please make sure that you think about it this way, that even people, Allah loves people who are actually rich, because what they do is then they contribute towards the cause
They
of
create
religion
jobs,
as well.
they let
Yes,
other people
they
make
create
money.
jobs and whatnot. There's so many opportunities. So make money, but money is never a milestone for success.
Right. So money primarily is a tool of freedom for Gen Z, from what I understand, also like according to some surveys that I went through, rather than like a mark of success, like you already said. Izaz, I want to give you the floor, but I want to remind you something. I don't know if you remember when Izaz started making money. We talk sometimes. So when you
Sometimes.
started making money...
Is it the Gen Z or millennial difference? That it comes down to sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So I always had a job. I never had my own business. I would love to be my own boss. And then Izaz made his, first few bucks, and he comes to me and he goes like, there's like literally a money bubble out there in the world. You need to know how to go tap it. And once you know it, there's no stopping. And then you manifest it. Like you say the amount and you set your value. And I was like, wait, you're so young to talk about this. I don't know if you remember, but then you discovered how easy it was. So what do you think about it?
I actually watch a lot of YouTube videos on finance. And for me, I've never been the high earner in my family and friend circle ever, up until the past 2 years.
Now mashallah.
So like I've always been the the laid back guy who's like ho jayega, the Sufi mindset sort of guy. But
And it works?
It does work. But I was never happy with that lifestyle that I had.
Because you were laid back, no?
Yeah, I was laid back, but I always felt like I could have more money, I could do with some
There's
more
always
money.
more.
I could, yeah. So this thing that you were talking about, the bubble thing, it is actually like money exists in the world already, right? There's more money than there is people, obviously. So it's all about how you can, how I'm going to convince him to give his money to me.
Yeah.
In a legal way, obviously. I'm going to sell him a service, a
Let's not
product, or
forget
whatever,
legal.
whatsoever. So these are some things that you need to learn, and it depends on you how big you want to expand it. And I feel like the thing you said about Gen Z, on this topic, I don't really relate with Gen Z, because now that I've started making money and I've started understanding what money does, it's not just about buying the Gucci belt. It's
Yeah,
not
so
just
what
about
do
buying
you-
an expensive car.
What do you do with your money?
I have a peace of mind.
He's financially literate. He
Yeah,
knows,
like if
that
I have, let's say if I have 1 lakh rupees in my bank account, which I don't need to pay bills from, or it's just there.
It's just there.
I just have peace of mind. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can just go wherever I want right now in Pakistan, obviously.
But
I
where
can't.
you mentioned about, tapping onto that in that conversation, and this is something that I would want to take advantage, use this platform. I think even countries need to think about it.
Okay.
Now, imagine we're not just talking about millennials or Gen Zs or individuals. I'm talking about economies. Now, what happens is that, I don't know if you remember or not, when we used to host a morning show and how things were. So there was a time that we were always in a clutter. There was always a barrier. Okay, oh, this cannot happen, or this is too much and whatnot.
Limitations.
Yeah, it's rather more than a limitation. I think it's a mental barrier for people. And that's what people need to understand. Because when I started hosting for free. And I never knew for the first year that somebody else was taking my money, because, there's always a middleman and there's a manager, and I never knew that somebody else. Somebody walked up to me and be like, well, sir, payment mil gayi. And I was like, what payment? That's the day when I realized, okay, we get paid for it. And then from there I started, and then I think for the longest period of time I had my mental barrier somewhat around at $500,000 rupees. And then from there onwards I was like, yeah, this age is just going away. I might not have this energy for all my life. I need to do well and I need to do big. And once you break that mental barrier, that tapping that you mentioned, so the words can be different, but it's that psychology which needs to work.
Once you figure it out.
And once you stand on it, once you take a stand for your own self, that's when it starts to move. And why I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity, I would want countries to think beyond $1 billion benchmark and probably speak about $20 billion, $50 billion.
It's all about manifestation, actually. On an individual level as well.
Block.
Yeah.
Get rid of that.
On an individual level as well.
Nahi dega.
Yeah.
And I think credit's due where it's due. My first ever job was with Shazad. He was the one who actually, told me that when you're doing extra work, you can get paid for extra work.
Yeah, but we're not getting paid for this one.
I mean,
yeah, because he's a colleague.
It's a favor, and I'm really, really thankful to you guys. And he told me extra work is still work. You get paid for it. And I was like, hey, who's gonna pay me? And then he was like, you have to ask for it. So he really taught me a lot of lessons.
Basically, the same time as money concept. You give time, you get paid for it.
Right.
And then when you have enough money, you buy people's time.
Yeah.
That is the formula, basically.
Yeah. I would never buy someone's time, though. But I think I'm going to talk about awareness over here. So I think some of you might agree and then disagree also. Awareness, maybe it's because we live in a technological world where information is just a tap away, right? We don't have to go to libraries or ask our elders for some answers. So now we are more aware in terms of inclusion also. Growing up, we did hear things about body shaming, colorism, racism, so many things. Gen Z seems to be more aware and more sensitive of the awareness, yes, but sensitivity also. But let's talk about colorism and body shaming over here. Now it's not okay to call someone words. And let me just put it over here. One of my favorite facts is of course, we all grew up Muslim. So our Prophet ﷺ actually already told us never to call people names because it's hurtful and we never took it seriously. Anyway, now we do. Do you feel also because you have older friends too, do you feel like you and your generation are more sensitive towards what people may feel and be hurt about?
They definitely are more sensitive. And I personally feel like it should be that way.
Of course.
Gen Z one of my earliest viral reels was me pretending to be, I am a Gen Z kid. And then I was pretending to be an uncle as well, who was being your generation is so sensitive. You cry about everything. And then my answer was that our generation is not sensitive. We just learned how to take a stand for ourselves. Obviously, if I call you something, you would also feel bad about it. If it's your insecurity, if I tap into it, you'll feel bad about it. But what I feel like the previous generations did not stand up for themselves as much as the Gen Z does.
What we think is it's probably, the way that you're putting it, obviously, I think from your angle, it's right. And where you said that, you in yourself, in your reel have mentioned that, why you so sensitive about it. I think for us, when we were growing up, if somebody would say anything, or probably now when we matured up as well, I probably might not even think once about it, if somebody has said something to me. And so many people say so many things, and as public figures, when you're on social media and different platforms, people will always come up and say whatever they want to say. See, I don't think about you, so if you're out there, you're listening to me, I don't think about you, I don't care about it, and it does not really matter to me. But when it comes down to this sensitive bit of it, why didn't we stand up for ourselves is the question that I'm going to answer. And that is because it didn't bother us.
Yes. Is that conditioning?
It is conditioning.
Yeah, I think so. It is
because imagine
yes.
if my father's sitting with me every day and he's telling me, or if I'm telling him, there's this tall kid or probably who's bullying me and whatnot, te putter tu week muka de dena si. See, so what they gave us was that it was never about colorism, racism, or a girl or a boy. It was always about standing equal. It wasn't about that, that you would go out there and probably harass somebody or embarrass someone. But rather, I think in our generation, if God forbid they would know that, that I've been in a fight, I'll get more beating. So,
Why did you get beaten up? Why are you crying?
Yeah. So, and I've never cried about it. And imagine, so now if people come to our place and say, Ehsan Saab and Shaida Bhabhi, your children are so well groomed. And we always say that we're not well groomed, we are well broomed. And to our generation, to our generation, it's more like, for me, when I think about it, it's not trauma. It's prayers of my father and mother, and which is why I'm here today. But in your instance, it might be trauma for children out there. My father used to beat me so much.
Like she said, it is conditioning, right? So our generation, saw it on the internet, talked about it, that this is actually bullying. You know, this is wrong. You guys probably did not even think of it as wrong.
No, but
right?
then what you do with your parents is something that you're bullying your parents too. No?
We don't
Ki,
question-
Abbu, I'm not going to do this. Abbu, why do you always keep on telling me? He's your father, right?
I mean,
or your mother.
coming from your father, if my father tells me to lose weight, I mean, I
my
know
father
that
tells me.
I know he's coming from it's coming from a good place, you know. He's thinking for my betterment. But if some other guy, let's say I'm overweight, you know, and this other guy comes.
Were you ever?
Not really.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
I was skinny though. Let's talk about that then.
Yeah.
So people used to make fun of me for being too skinny.
Right.
And I did not like that. You know, if my dad says that you're too skinny, you should eat more, I'll listen to it as advice.
Yeah.
But if a guy from my school comes to me and says, oh, suke, oh, patle, you know, I know that is bullying and that is going to hurt me. He's not doing it to make me feel better. He's doing it to make me feel worse.
No, but then why is it? Okay, I get it. I get your point, and you might have felt worse at that point of time. But were you skinny?
Yeah.
You were, and you hated it?
I sort of did, yeah.
Must have worked on it then.
I did.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You know, so imagine if somebody comes to me and hurl a comment at me. The first thing that I'm going to think about is whether is he saying or is she saying the right thing or wrong.
Yeah,
You
true.
know, and
true,
if
true,
it's
true.
wrong, you know, why should I care?
I
about
do
it?
agree with that.
That's
You know,
that's the part of conditioning.
You know, if something is fat, would you not call it fat?
I will.
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
So
even if it's
But
my
it's
child.
But
I
not-
will.
then again,
Oh
if you're the intention matters here, right?
Yeah.
So if you're
That's
trying to hurt that person or whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
so then when your father was telling you to get a degree, why did you drop out then?
I mean,
That was an advice
He
too.
stood his ground. He was like, but this is such a funny. Can it also
Story
be a
for another
gender-
podcast.
Can it also be a gender thing? Because my parents tell me that they're so ecstatically happy that I gained weight. It should be the opposite, right? Is it a gender
I
thing?
mean,
Are they
I'm-
trying to be soft with me?
I'm sorry that I have to say this, but I probably need to look at that way then. You know, I probably might not have. Because see, every time when
But
we
also
come into a
parents
very
have kind
professional
eyes.
environment, we'll probably, our contact is eye to eye. You know, why should I be thinking whether somebody has gained weight or not? Oh, what does it have to do with me?
But the
कि
point
कोई
of
मोटा है,
discussion-
कोई पतला है, भाई तू जो भी है.
Nay, but the point of discussion is calling someone out. That cannot be done.
That's probably, I think, aunties who do that in between themselves, and you know, if they're fine with it, I don't have any issue with
Okay.
that too.
Yeah, I mean,
but calling
but
out is bad.
This is
calling out
this
bad.
is one of the small talk topics in our culture, especially. You meet someone
पतले
after a
हो
long
गए
time,
हो,
bro,
मोटे
lamba
हो
ho gaya, mota ho gaya. You know, they say stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
अब तो गंजा भी हो गया.
yeah, exactly. So sometimes it is about, you know, if somebody's concerned about me and they're like, bro, you've lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that person is actually concerned.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with. I'd be happy that they're looking out for me.
See, so every time, for example, you know, when me and Shizza were doing the morning show together, and if there was something that I need to tell her, and probably that was about the presentation bit of it, I would always say it when we were all by ourselves. You know, so when you need to give advice to people, the advice is always one-on-one.
But
Advice is never in between 100 people.
Yes,
Exactly.
but it's also about where it's coming from. So I would take advice from you very happily because you're experienced, you've been there, you've seen the world, and then I will take it from you.
And I've done that myself. So imagine when I started working for an English morning show, I probably was wrong
learned a
with my
lot.
has, have, and all of this grammar bit. And so I would actually send clips to my younger brother who was studying in Oxford then, and he would then correct me, and then I would take it very happily because, you know, he's telling me one-on-one and he's not actually kind of figuring it out. Because now imagine that the then boss said that there are a lot of other anchors coming in and complaining about your English. See, now that's something which you would refer to as like pulling on all of that.
Bullying,
It
yeah.
did matter to me then. But then eventually when you work on it, it's fine.
Yeah.
So I don't think you
Sorry
guys
that we
realized.
didn't give you enough.
I'll just leave the
Chat
chat
room with
room.
Shazad and his ass.
You know, I don't think you guys realized, but you spoke about something so important, and I cannot let it go. Let's talk about being in touch with your emotions. At the risk of generalizing, Pakistan happens to be, yes, a patriarchal society. So most of the men I have ever been in conversation with, again, at the risk of generalizing, you know, they are told that men are strong, men don't cry, men don't have emotions,
Mard ko
or
dard
like
nahi
you get
hota.
over it. So I want to talk about how close you guys are with your emotions. When was the last time you cried, Shazad?
I can cry whenever I feel like, man.
No, not for acting. I know
No,
you're
no,
good.
not even for acting. I'm telling you, being honest. Now, imagine, you know, this is a very important question that you've posed over here. And for even if there are men out there, women out there, you really do not have to hide yourself to cry about something.
Right. There's
now,
strength in
what
it.
I'm going to tell is something very important. See, if you are not accepting the kind of emotion or the rush that your brain is giving you or what it is indicating you, that's going to be a bigger problem. And there are mental health issues which people still unfortunately have no understanding about. So you really need to accept your emotions first, talk to yourself, and then find a solution. Because we do say that we would want peace on these geopolitical affairs which are going on everywhere these days. But are you at peace with your own self? And you can only be at peace only when you start to understand and accept your emotions.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
And like he said,
And I'm
that
so proud of you for-
yeah,
Yes,
beautifully said. Very beautifully said. Like he said that he can cry anytime. What I got from that is that obviously we have a lot of reasons to cry about. I can
choose not to.
Yeah, I can make a list of reasons that I could cry about right now. If I start thinking about it for like 5 minutes. If I start thinking about something for 5 minutes, I'm definitely going to cry. We do cry, but mostly alone.
Yeah. Probably over a song.
Which is
Over
also
a song,
amazing.
maybe, or if I'm deep into some thought, if I'm missing a friend who's no more in this world, something like that. Or, but thing is that we do want to cry, but the world does not want to see us cry.
Yeah.
I want to see y'all cry. I mean, in a good way, of course.
I mean,
What's a good way of crying?
I mean, in a healthy, emotional way. But
Khushi
you guys,
ke aansu.
Khushi ke aansu,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. But like to be comfortable with your emotions, and I have to say, because Azaz, I kind of knew your answer. You are in touch with your emotions, yes. But I'm so proud to listen to your answer, Shizza.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting this, but
Definitely.
it really does make me happy. Also because of how closed off you both are.
And I
right?
had to change it. It wasn't that it came to me easily. I had to change it. And I think that primarily it's all because of my sisters. See, now imagine that in our family, alhamdulillah, all my sisters work.
Mashallah.
And they're more like my mothers to me, so I do not have one mother. I alhamdulillah have 6 mothers. And they would always, and people who are in closer touch with all of these feminine values have a better understanding of emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm going to break the monotony over here while I still have a lot of questions. We're going to do,
Or nah. Yeah, or yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Or yeah.
Acha.
Yeah, how would
Yeah,
a Gen Z do that? How would a Gen Z do that?
Do what?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
I'm going to break the monotony over here. I still have a lot of questions, but we're going to do a quick segment of yay or nay.
Okay,
Did
yay
I
or
say
nay.
it right?
Yeah.
All
Yay or
right,
nay.
so-
Yeah, or nay.
You both have your personal cameras.
Yeah.
So what I want from you, I'm going to say something. If it's a yes, you will give the camera a thumbs up, or you can verbally say it also,
okay.
or a thumb down. And this has to be like really, really rapid fire.
Quick.
Quick.
So what if we would want to kind of change the answer that we've given prior to?
Then, okay, fine. I'll make exceptions. I'll make exceptions. All right.
Okay.
Ankle socks, one by one,
where?
or together.
It depends, yes.
Ankle socks.
Gym,
No,
yes.
loafers or no?
No, not on loafers.
No, so then?
Loafers are without socks.
Okay, so ankle socks, what ankle socks? I mean, what's the...
At all.
I feel like for sports is fine.
Okay.
If I'm at the gym, if I'm wearing like trainers, playing football.
No, not for gym.
Okay.
Not for gym.
That's different.
Full on socks, man.
You guys, oh my God.
Muscles all
please.
pumped up.
I want the right answer to this. And believe me, there's a right
Okay.
answer. Skinny jeans.
It is no. Yeah.
I knew it.
I mean, I've made a lot of content on this as well.
Let me show you. I mean, I don't know if you can see this.
I'm
or
also
not.
wearing these.
Well,
Yes,
no,
both
yeah.
of you.
I'm
And
also
it's-
wearing wide legs.
And it's looking so nice.
But the thing is, I make fashion content, right?
Yeah. So you
And-
need to be on point.
Yeah, but I also feel like fashion is very subjective
Okay.
to anybody's opinion,
Yeah.
So like
Style is
if somebody,
subjective,
yeah, like if somebody is comfortable in skinny
Look,
jeans,
this
do
rapid
that.
fire, please.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, in the
Okay,
middle,
so it's
right there in the
might.
middle.
But again,
Go.
maybe
Yeah,
if you know how
I
to style
might.
it. All right. Photo dumps on Instagram. I do it.
Yay.
I mean, I never got a chance to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because every day is my morning show content coming over. So when do I put pictures on? Yeah.
Calling without texting first.
Nay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
If it's an emergency, yes, but
So straight up, why
No,
text
no,
first?
no.
I mean, it's not like you're knocking on somebody's door. Call karo, seedhi baat karo bas.
okay.
Because now people do not even see their WhatsApp. You cannot keep on waiting.
I think that's more of a Gen Z thing, though.
I think it's
I
more
relate.
about getting things done.
Yeah,
No,
true.
but, like, I don't
that's also it also depends on the urgency of the matter, right?
I mean, even if it's not urgent, if I
Like
have
if
to
I'm
call
outside
someone,
my
I'll just
if
call
I'm
them.
outside my friend's house and he's not coming
Or would
downstairs.
you think? Okay, so let's put it this way: that would you think why I'm calling first, right?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
let me
you
know
won't.
why you call. Why do I have to pick your phone up?
Yeah, because you wanted me to be on your podcast.
Shizza,
Yeah, no.
I will, but like in general.
In general, yeah, just call, man.
Okay, no, text.
Nah, text first. I don't
All
pick up
right,
calls.
you guys, let me just remind you it was rapid fire. Mental health breaks.
Yes. Yeah.
But
No
depends
breaks.
if your mental health is not well. Then
Yeah,
take a
then you
break,
need a
yeah.
break.
Only
Okay.
then.
But yeah.
Overpriced iced coffee. Yes.
Nay.
Okay, I love my matcha.
I love
Overpriced
my
now.
money.
I love my money too.
Yeah.
Very much.
Watching TV with subtitles.
No. No.
Netflix subtitles are sick.
Honestly, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
can't.
problem is that if I have a weak eyesight, right?
Okay.
So I have to really focus on the subtitles to read them.
But the audio is still open.
Yeah, but what if the show is in Spanish? I'd rather just listen to it in English and without subtitles, you know? So
And
like if I'm
even
focusing
the
on
lip
the
sync is out.
yeah, I mean I don't really care then.
Just saying
Because
something
if I
else.
focus on the subtitles too much, then my head starts to hurt.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I'm like,
It's your
doing
choice,
this.
bro. It's
Yeah,
your choice,
like, no
yeah.
subtitles.
Yeah.
It's too distracting.
Yeah, okay.
Rapid fire.
Oat milk versus regular.
Regular.
I mean, I've never moved to oat milk.
Same.
I mean, my trainer keeps on telling me.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, oats khao. We got a roti
No, but
na khao,
oat
oats
milk.
khao.
Oat milk.
Milk.
Gai
that's
ka
it,
doodh.
bas. Yeah.
Yeah, natural. Natty.
But makes you slow though.
Weekend
Because the
plan-
animal itself is slow.
Yeah, true.
Weekend plans or bed rotting.
Weekend plans.
Weekend plans.
Yeah.
All right, weekend plans. This was fun.
But sorry, what did you do on weekend plans?
I slept. I slept. Shazad, I only get one day off. You have a whole weekend off. We work 6 days a week.
I mean, you probably need to look outside then. I think family support is really essential and important.
Let's
I
talk
wouldn't have
about-
been here if it wasn't for my parents and my sisters, honestly, after Allah Almighty.
What do you think about family support?
I
Are
obviously-
you a very individual generation or do you take your family along?
I don't think I speak for the whole Gen Z when I say this
Mm-hmm.
because I am. My training is technically millennial training. You know,
yeah,
like
thanks to us.
there's
Because of badi apiyan and
yeah, like thanks to you guys and then to Cadet College as well.
yeah.
So it gives you the millennial, Mardana training. So yes, I do value my family a lot, and I also believe that the first boost of confidence that one gets is from family.
Yeah.
So like,
So was your family able to do that for you?
yeah, obviously, like growing up, I've always wanted to be famous, so to say, like be it music, be it acting or whatever. And it's always been my family who's been listening to my stupid jokes, clapping for me when I do some stupid thing, when I perform at a school play and all of that,
That's how it starts. I think I've done the same too while I was growing up. And
Exactly.
I would make jokes, silly jokes rather, which probably nobody would.
just to get the attention of the crowd.
Yeah. And they would do that. So I think
Yeah.
it goes likewise.
I want to move to, I don't know why my
What do
tongue
you want
is
to move
slipping.
to?
I want to move to music choices over here.
wow.
First of all, I'm really happy about the fact that I'm able to listen to Nusrat with him or with any person from any generation.
Yeah, but Nusrat Saab is universal, I
Of
feel
course,
like.
I mean classic, next level. But do you think you guys have the same music choices?
Let's see. Probably let's speak about
What
it.
are you
I think we
listening to
do.
lately?
I think my preference has always been because see, imagine it's going to go back to where we do cry, but we cry when we all by ourselves, or it's the music. Rap, it's quite a lot of things. It's Punjabi music. It always makes me happy. It keeps
Do
me
you like
going.
rap?
I love rap.
Do you like rap?
I do, but depends what
A
sort
lot of
rap.
people might not even know. I think for my first rap song ever, which I recorded, Azaz actually wrote the lyrics for it.
Yeah, that was like 4 or 5 years
So this is a
ago.
collaboration going to be.
I think that was your first paycheck.
Okay,
That
I'm
was my
gonna-
first paycheck.
Yeah.
First paycheck from an art form.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you both on the spot here.
Oh, go ahead.
Since you have similar-ish music choices, can we have a rap battle or a rap collab?
I mean,
Without music?
we could just
Yeah, all right.
I provide music. I mean,
it's
I'll
not
provide
like
music.
this sort of. Yeah, where was that? A beat
Can we
could
have
be-
it? Oh my
Just
God,
like a simple
alright.
beat, probably. I think
Let's
something.
do that. I'm
They'll
so
be more
excited.
interesting. You want me to go first, or
You go first.
yeah, you go like.
No, you go
"Acha
first."
Sonia," yeah, something. So I'll do it
All right, rap battle Shazad Hassan
after
Khan.
a very long time. एक दुनी दो दुनी चार जहन पे वहम के नशे हैं सवार इस रहन और सहन से बढ़ेगी रफ्तार पर रहम न करेगा ज़माना ये सबक तो बड़ा ही है पुराना ये नमक से जो उतरी ये बात है ऊपर वाला भी तेरे साथ है जिंदगी से गुजरे हैं कितने हंसी पल नसीब नसीब की बात है लाइफ से गुजरे हैं कितने उजाले पर सबसे हंसी तो ये रात है इस खेल में होगा नुकसान नफा जीत के बने इंसान खुदा नहीं विस्की से खिसकी गरारी ये तेरा वास्ता है चिकने खिलाड़ी से
Very nice.
Your turn, man. Let's not slip it away.
Yeah.
So basically, this is one of the songs that I've only posted one song ever. So it's on Spotify and YouTube as well.
Wow,
it's called Matlabi.
Yeah, obviously that promotion meant Matlabi as well.
It was very Matlabi of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wrote it like...
Did you promote it?
Did I?
No. He's talking about this one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I will.
I wrote it like back in COVID days, early COVID days. So it goes like, सुन मेरे यार अज मेरी कहानी अपनी ज़िंदगी सुनाऊं तुझको अपनी ज़ुबानी ये कहानी कामयाबियों की दास्तां नहीं है मैं हमेशा हूँ गलत पर ये लोग सही मुझ में बात नहीं कोई औकात नहीं मेरी कोई भी मोहब्बत मेरे साथ नहीं है दिल में बात है कहीं है मुँह पे आती नहीं है कैसे पूरा करूँ किस्सा पूरी रात नहीं and then it gets a bit explicit so I'm not going to say the rest of the lyrics.
Okay.
I mean they're going to edit it anyways. It's not
Do
right.
the chorus.
मतलब ये मेरे यार भी मतलब ये रिश्तेदार भी सारी दुनिया मतलब ये जानी मतलब ये मेरा प्यार भी.
All right.
That's nice,
All
man.
right,
That's
all
good, yeah.
right.
That's good.
Okay, you guys were great sports. Like, I absolutely love where this
Thank
was
you.
going. Okay, let me just like understand one thing. People are not, I mean, the younger generation, they're not posting anything anymore. I know you're a content creator, so you have to, it's your job. But in terms of sharing your private life, we grew up in a generation where, first of all, we saw the change happen. We saw technology take over. And then we were like, you know what? We want to share everything. My dad used to make fun of us when we got Facebook. He was like, oh, so you got a new parrot? You're going to post your parrot? I mean, it was a long story, but long story short, we love showing off everything on social media. I have changed now. I want to take pride in myself. Why people don't like to post anything anymore or share anymore?
I feel like it's the other way around, no?
I
Is
think
it?
it's everybody's choice.
Yeah,
I think
like-
even if it's other way around, speaking about my own life or my private life, I see there have been days now, finally when you're in the public cam, what actually happens is that I've been chased by people right outside my house as well. So imagine that even now when I'm being stopped at checkpoints, when even the police guys do realize that who I am, shukr alhamdulillah, and they would still complain about black tinted windows. And it's an essential because I've had occasions where people, just by knowing that I was driving the car, had actually come outside chasing me.
You got shot at.
Yeah. I mean, that's a different story too, So there's so many things. And then why would I want to post about my lovely wife or my lovely children when we do know how there's AI and people can actually make any video out of it?
Yes.
See, people really need to be careful now more because, and your brain does not function like that when you see unfortunately such a video of anyone who's actually your loved one, and you won't even know or will be able to decide whether it's AI or not. Imagine, and that's happening in every family group where mothers are sharing how cats are actually offering prayers and all of that. So
That's so sweet.
this guy made this video from Karachi who actually spoke about it. So I think it's best that your personal life stays personal.
Yeah.
And the people who are actually in the public eye do whatever you
I
want
feel
to
like
do.
it's more about validation and it's also about novelty, right? So back in the day when Facebook popped up in Pakistan, so it was a cool thing to do, posting things about, or posting a picture was cool, just
We used to make
on
whole
Facebook,
albums
yeah.
of the same day.
whole albums of the same day, flower birthday and all of that. And I feel like Gen Z has had enough of it already, sort of. If you are to say that Gen Z does not post that much.
I mean, I didn't say that. She said.
But like, if that is the topic of discussion,
Yeah,
right?
that is.
So maybe like the reason could be that Gen Z has had enough of that sort of.
Probably, for somebody who's actually had a private account, how would she know?
You guys.
Anyways, if Gen Zs are posting or not. I think the Gen Zs I know are posting every single day, every single hour.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I left media, so of course I made my private account. So work ethics. I mean, this is one of the most popular discussions lately. Gen Z is not going to take BS from anyone. And why should they? They know what their values are. They're going to work according to their own terms. But the bosses are not really happy with that. So, what is work ethics for Gen Z? Also, we have to realize the fact over here that Gen Z actually got to working during a pandemic. So, the whole reality of going to office and actually like knowing work as we know it was very different for them. They probably got comfortable in it. I don't know. I'm going to ask the Gen Z. Before that, Millennials, you have also worked with Gen Z, of course. Your work ethics, I am aware of them, but for people who don't know, do you think it's different for younger generation now?
And I would see work ethics is something which will define how, as a professional, you're going to grow up. And if people without work ethic, I think makes it difficult for other people to work with them. So you would really, I mean, it's going to come down to how you sell yourself. So work ethic is very essential. It's very important. And we need to make sure that we're on time. And I've always done that, alhamdulillah, so that there's no problem because of me at any workplace or any scheduled shoot that we were already doing or any other artist that I'm interviewing or probably sitting down with or going out with. And I would always make sure that I would never crack a joke made be on the stage or anywhere which is below the belt. And I think that it was really a huge fraud for us to kind of be on time when Gen Z could actually...
Did you say fraud?
Yeah, when Gen Z could actually manage to do all those work while being at home.
Yeah.
So, and thank you so much, Gen Z, for giving us that liberty.
For opening that door for you.
Yeah, now finally, we can be like, sir, we can do it from home. Yeah, okay, do it from home. If I'm traveling anywhere else, now Zoom link is so wonderful. You can do your shows, do whatever, wherever you are in the world. And it makes world more accessible and work more accessible for you.
Yeah.
That's very smart. But did you ever get a chance to have like work, like job?
I mean, I've had odd jobs when I was
on time over here today.
Yeah, I was earlier than everybody else. Although I had to like cut down my shoot a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I
Thank you
finished
so
it.
much, I guess.
I finished it on time. But the thing is, like, I have personally not had corporate work experience, but I've obviously the business that I'm in, I'm dealing with corporates all the time. So all the brands that I'm working with, they are basically corporates, right? So they do follow the same corporate structure. I have to follow those rules as well. Like if they ask me for a video, I have to deliver it on time, make it according to their needs and requirements.
True.
Thing is, it's not about it's not about the time constraint that Gen Z, you can't just say that Gen Z does not have a better work ethic because they work from home or whatever, or they don't take BS from their boss.
Yeah.
Taking BS from your boss should not have been a thing in the first place for anybody, right?
And no boss should actually be giving BS to anyone. And if somebody is getting that BS, either there's a reason for that, and if it is without a reason, you really need to give that BS back.
Yeah,
but
so
the G
like
Hazuri culture was real, you guys.
yeah, but it's more of a cultural thing. I feel like
Okay.
It is still.
it is still, yes, and Gen Z does have to follow that as well. But Gen Z also
Gen
believes
Z have a cooler way of doing that.
yeah.
Okay.
Gen Z
Okay,
have a cooler
friends, man.
yeah. So like Gen Z does their job that they're told. And like you said before, that extra work requires extra money, right? Of
course.
So if they're, what I've generally felt like is I have a team now and I have Gen Z people working with me. So what I noticed is that they won't go the extra mile unless you told them to or you have paid them to, So for example, if I need a video edited in a certain way, and while editing that video, the kid that is editing my video, he sees that, okay, if I do this, then it will look better. But unless I've told him, he won't do that.
Okay.
This is
Yeah,
something that I've noticed.
Yeah, and it's bad though. It's
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, and it's bad because imagine that, then you will probably, see now for all of those children who are working with you or in your team, now you have realized that kid didn't do that to make it look better or the way that you would have liked it. Probably you're going to remember this for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but he did what he was told, right?
No.
That's the thing.
See, when you're told something, you need to give it your 100%. And if it's not your 100%,
Yeah,
that
but
means
like
that you're not taking advantage
I'm
of
talking
that
about in
opportunity.
a way that, let's say you told me to write a song for you, right? I could have just given you any lyrics,
Yeah.
right? But I
Made sure
that everything is in place and it goes with your vibe and whatever you want, right?
True.
But let's say in video editing, I give him a video, do this. He does all of those things. But if he has, unless he is very well trained with me, he's not going to do something on his own.
Yeah,
make
so
his
it's
own.
going to come down to, sir, aapne bola hi nahi.
Exactly.
But it should come down to that. Now, I think with our generation, it was different. For our generation,
You
so if we
overexcel.
were given an opportunity, we'll take full 100% advantage of it. We'll dedicate ourselves 100%. Even if we were not told anything, we would try to go overboard, and then being told कि यार इतना नहीं करना था.
All right.
Yeah, so stay in place. Yeah.
That's true. And I know the discussion is going very long, like Rizwan bhai
Let it
behind
go
the
on.
camera is really like pointing to me, bas karo. But I want to throw
Was it
a
you?
last question to you. That's Rizwan bhai. I want to throw a question to
असल में वो
both of
बेचारे
you.
खड़े हैं तब से.
And that's the
Yeah,
last
boss.
one.
Yeah,
All
sorry,
right.
sorry.
No worries. If you had to spend a day like the opposite generation,
Spend a day.
so you're spending a day as Gen Z and you're spending a day as a millennial. Walk me through the day. What you think millennials do and what you think Gen Z would do.
That I've always taken a lot of inspiration from Gen Z, and it was because of the fact that they have done things that we didn't do, or whatever the culture barriers or whatever was. So whatever day, as ours is actually spending, I'm happy to spend that day now because you're working.
Not before.
Yeah. So my day is going to look like how Azaz's day is. Probably our days are similar anyway.
Yeah, they are
Because
pretty much.
when you actually appreciate someone, what you're doing is, one, you're allowing more space for other people to come in and participate in your ventures, and number two, you're creating space for them to be a part of your circle too. And once you start to do that, that's where true equality comes into play.
All right. What about you? What if you woke up as a millennial?
I don't know, man. I like being Gen Z.
Okay.
I like being Gen Z. Be miserable, be angry, be grumpy, I would say.
I mean, I don't
Right?
know. I don't know.
But also, it's the age that you guys are in right now, right?
But we're not angry or grumpy or...
Yeah, but most of the people... so I am turning 28 this year.
Yeah.
So anybody who is 29 and above is millennial, right?
When-
I haven't seen many 30-year-olds be happy during the day.
I'm happy
Yeah.
all the time.
I mean...
Because we don't have 9 to 5s now. I mean, for people who have 9 to 5s, obviously, even if it's a Gen Z boy or a girl, I think there might be trouble with that. And, the work ethic over here, we've spoken about it, is not how it needs to be. It really needs to change. I mean, people should actually come and do what they're supposed to do rather than, fulfilling favors, overtime, extra time, not getting paid. There's so many things people need to do, outside your workplace. I mean, in Sweden, people are only working 4 days. It's still, Sweden is doing wonderfully well.
Exactly.
Yeah, so why do you have to work 6 days?
And I think
I work 7 days.
Yeah.
It's because I'm not.
Working is good though.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it helps the mind. But also, I think thanks to the pandemic, because that was when we realized, okay, we don't need to go to offices anymore. I still do, but there's a lot.
Yeah,
of
but
people
that's
who
also
did
the
realize-
sort of job that you do, right? You need to come
of
to
course.
office.
I mean, I need to come here to the studio, talk to you guys. Absolutely love doing that. Thank you so much, Azad Hasan Khan. Thank you so much, Izaz Hashmi.
We loved every bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It was a
really
great
enjoyed it. I
conversation.
know it didn't even feel like more than 1.5 hours, but it is.
Really?
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Millennials versus Gen Z. But I feel like maybe next I should do like a town hall types. Maybe have you as a live audience over here. Let me know in the comments if you would like that. I'll see you next time.
You don't have space here.
Shazad?
Sorry.